Alright, hello and welcome back to another deck profile. I still don't know why I start every single video off with alright, welcome back to, because alright sounds stupid and it could be the first one you ever watched, but you know, it's fine, we're rolling with it like we always do anyway. So, today we are taking a look at, oh it's so stupid, taking a look at Lycanthrope Turbo. Now if you don't know, Lycanthrope is a level 6 ritual, 2400, 1800, I already said 6 stars. I think Beast Warrior Earth. I don't know why I'm listing everything. You can see it on the side of the screen. But basically, it's a vanilla, except when it inflicts battle damage, you do 200 damage for each other vanilla in your graveyard. So if you advance Ritual Art with it, instant 200 burn damage. Hashtag broken, anyone? But this is this one actually isn't mine. This is one I was sent by one of my good friends in Yu-Gi-Oh! He also did the Dark Lord deck profile. I'll have a card up to that on screen as well, but this is another one of his. And I've looked at it, and there are like very, very minuscule things that change, like maybe 2 cards in the main deck, maybe like 1 or 2 in the extra. But they're very minuscule changes that really just come down to a player preference, so I just left it as is because overall they wouldn't make really any difference at all. So basically the whole point of the deck, you get Lycanthrope out and he's a level 6, but you can also do some weird things like make Zulkin, you can make some rank 6s here and there, so you can have some pretty strong power plays of, say, like, when I was testing it, I'd have hands of like Crystal Wing, a rank 6, some stuff still on board, so you can do some pretty weird and crazy stuff with this deck for some reason. It's one of those decks that shouldn't work at all, but really does. So let's go ahead and get into it. So starting off, we obviously have 3 Lycanthrope. He's that man. He's the point of the deck because he looks kind of badass. So you can bring him out and overlay with him and make a Zulkin with him and shit like that. And he does a little bit of burn that can put work in, I guess, from time to time. Obviously, it's a ritual deck, so we're gonna be having 3 Manju as pretty much our only regular normal summon, although we will find ourselves normal summoning some level 6s from time to time. But Manju is essentially your only normal summon, but obviously he can grab you anything ritual based in the deck, so he's insane consistency. I've covered Manju before, I don't need to go over that again. Now we also have 2 copies of Chaos Sorcerer. Now you might be saying, why not BLS? Well, it's because Chaos Sorcerer is a level 6. So you can plop a Chaos Sorcerer out, use him to banish something, and then overlay with the Chaos Sorcerer or use him for a Zulkin. Different things like that. Obviously, because I'm mentioning Zulkin, this is pre-link, although you can still make rank 6s like a motherfucker in this. And you will have like some Seraphonites and things just kind of dead on the field. So this probably could be adapted to Link format once Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro updates. But obviously you have Ghost Ogres, you have some Lights and Darks, so you're going to be able to banish some stuff out, special him out, get a free banish, and then use him for some play extension from there. So he does help out a lot, and Chaos Sorcerer is badass as fuck. We also have 2 copies of Primitive Butterfly, which if you control the monsters, you just plop it down for free. Now it is a level 5, but you can increase its level to a level 6. There's no stipulations on that, you just have to have it on the field. So it's basically a free level 6. From there we have 2 copies of Ghost Ogre and 1 Max C, which is essentially the Bricky deck hand trap package. Just to go for like 3 hand traps, and Ghost Ogre and Max C are probably the best ones. So I definitely do agree with that lineup. We got the God card, as the meme is now, and we have the Ghost Ogres, which again are just so damn strong. They're light targets for Chaos Sorcerer, so it all works out pretty well. Now this deck does run Brilliant Fusion, but not in the normal way. Not for the extra summon per se, although it does come up a lot of times. It's mostly for getting resources to your hand, and that's generally through Gem Knight Lazuli. Now whenever she's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 normal monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. So with Watt-Tail Dragon here, which is a level 6 light, we can actually use Brilliant Fusion, send these 2 cards, and then add 1 back to our hand immediately. So we get a free body on field, we can normal summon 2 Manjus, and we have this in hand. So normally what will happen is you'll normal summon a Manju, and then you will normal summon one of these level 6s over the Seraphonite for a more level 6 presence on the field. So I cannot speak, I am bad at what I do. But the Zuli play is very strong and kind of, it's essentially the same kind of way that, that World Chalice uses it. Where you can actually use it to add resources back to your hand to keep extending your plays from there, which is very interesting. And then obviously, the Labradorite Dragon and the Wattail Dragon. There's 4. Wattail Dragon is a target for Brilliant Fusion, and Labradorite, I hate his name, I can't say it, is a target for Advanced Ritual Art and can help you make Zolkin. Speaking of Advanced Ritual Art, we do have 2 copies of that and 2 copies of the specific ritual spell, which is Synthesis Spell. No explanation really needed there. For our consistency, we have 2 copies of Desires, which, I mean, Desires is fucking broken. This deck is mostly 3 and 2-ofs. These kind of count as 4, these aren't necessary, so you're not going to be banishing everything you need, so you're basically getting 2 cards for free. We have the 3 pre-preps and the 1 regular prep. Obviously, all super insane cards give you mega advantage. 1 Dragon Shrine, which I actually do really like because I can set your grave up for the next card, and deck thins and set your grave up for cards like Soul Charge and Swing of Memories. And this is where this is where super strong power plays are going to come from, is like, say you advance Ritual Art, just in the most basic sense. You can advance Ritual Art, bring out your Lycanthrope with a level 6, Swing of Memories, bring something back, and then make a Zolkin or a rank 6 from there, which is pretty strong for the deck. The 1 Upstart Enrageki, the standard package there. We have 2 Cosmic Cyclones for back row removal, which I definitely like right now with things like True Draco and stuff running around where you really don't want to be putting spells in grave, and the 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion to round it all off. Moving on to the X deck, we have 1 copy of Seraphonite, our 1 Zolkin, our Void Ogre, and our Crystal Wing, which are targets for the Zolkin here. Also Spark. They're all targets for Zolkin, but Clear Wing can actually be made in 2 ways. You have this as a level 6 tuner and Lazuli as a level 1, and you also have Manju and Ghost Ogre as another combination you can use there. And for Spark, you could use Primitive Butterfly or Seraphonite with Ghost Ogre as well. So these 2 are only Zolkin targets, but these 2 are Zolkin targets and can be made outside of it as well. Moving on to the XYZs, we have, I can pretty much just breeze through these. We have a Guy Dragon because it does piercing, it's a free rank up. We have Utopia Beyond, free damage. We have M7, recurs resources and bounces stuff. Balancer for some negates. Dragulus for a little bit of stun. Heretic Dragon, King of Atum, basically lets you special summon a free dragon type monster from your deck but make its attack and defense 0. So it's basically kind of like a, what's the Dark Magician XYZ, the specialist one from deck. It's kind of just like some play extension like that, where you can use this with 3 monsters to make 2 XYZs. 1 Frozen Lady Justice, because although it is specific, it does come up against certain decks. Anything that goes defense, you can clear their whole board. And for rank 4 is just 2 Emeralds to recycle your resources, and because it can actually bring back non-effect monsters, so again, it works in a play extension capacity. So that's about it for the deck. Now we're only going to have 1 replay, which I'd like to show more. It's very fun and very interesting, so I would like to show more than just 1. But for some reason, my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro is glitching out and won't let me go into the extra deck online. Like if I activate Brilliant Fusion, I'll reveal Seraphonite, nothing will happen. If I have 2 level 6s on field, it won't let me make a rank 6. It's acting very weird. But he also, my friend did have a replay he sent me as well, so we'll take a look at that to kind of supplement here. Alright, so getting into the replay here, obviously we have Lycanthrope Turbo down at the bottom against a suboptimal build of Ancient Gears up at the top here, but to each their own on that. So Lycanthrope Turbo will be going second here against Ancient Gears. He's going to open up with just a Howitzer, but turn 1 there's not much else Ancient Gear will do, as it is an OTK machine. Now Lycanthrope Turbo down here is going to Desires, and that will get him a Swing of Memories and a Brilliant Fusion, which is absolutely insane. Now, he has these Swing of Memories, so he's going to send those 2, which are now live with these Swing of Memories. Now, we can go ahead and use pre-prep, grab Lycanthrope and the Synthesis spell. And here you'll see Lazuli going into action and adding back a normal monster from grave. Now, that's actually important because, obviously, if you activate pre-prep, you can't grab Advanced Ritual Art, you can only grab the specific spell. So Brilliant Fusion gives you free resources to actually use for your Ritual Summon, as well as letting you have a free level 6 on board, because you can also normal summon that monster over the Seraphonite. So it is a very strong play, although not in the sense we'd usually see Brilliant Fusion used for. I was going to go ahead and normal summon the Manju to grab another Lycanthrope, and there you see he used the normal summon over the Manju. He uses Swing of Memories to bring back a Labradorite Dragon. He'll go into Zolkin, set the Synthesis spell, and then activate it, summoning the Lycanthrope. Okay, computer, we're good. Okay, just Making sure it's good there. Summoning the Lycanthrope, so now he has a pretty impressive board for a for a Lycanthrope turbo deck. For a deck based around a random ritual that really does nothing, this is a very strong board. So we'll go ahead and Crystal Wing over the Howitzer and negate its effect in grave, and then swing for 24 with 600 burn, with a total of 3 normals in grave. Now the Ancient Gear player is going to top deck a Ancient Gear Hound, which obviously can act as a poly, but that's going to get negated, and he's going to scoop from there as he really didn't have much left. Alright, and that does it for Lycanthrope Turbo. Sadly, I would like to show you more, but for some reason, I just can't. It's really weird, it's strange that the glitch isn't letting it work, but that one replay was a decent example of it, and it pretty much gave you an idea of how it works, showed off a lot of a lot of what's behind it, although we didn't get to see some stuff like Chaos Soak and Primitive Butterfly and such. But anyway, if you're looking for a place to discuss Yu-Gi-Oh! Weirdness, it's a mix of Yu-Gi-Oh! And weirdness, definitely a lot of weird, but there's some Yu-Gi-Oh! In there as well. That was the worst description I could ever give for this, you're not going to want to check it out. But I have a Discord, the Professional server, which I'll link to down in the description. There's a lot of us, some usuals hanging out there. It's a pretty cool place. Generally just a pretty cool place to hang out, discuss some Yu-Gi-Oh!, discuss some other random things. Just a pretty fun place in general. Also, I have a Patreon page, which will also be linked in the description. If you enjoy my antics and the stupid things I do and want to support me, you can check that out. Even if you just give $1 a month, that would be greatly appreciated and really help out. There'll be no pressure to actually support me on Patreon. No content will be gated off or anything. But if you have some extra give, it would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, that's my usual plugs at the end of the video finished, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.